Hey guys, let me know when you can hear me get started. Can you guys hear me at all? Loud and clear. All right. Jeez, there's a massive delay on this. God, that's crazy. All right. So looking at SPX 0D, looking at just SPX in general, right? First, get into pre-market prep real quick, just so you can see what that looks like. Right, if you're new to game, just real quick. So we, focus on options market, not necessarily trading options, although a lot of people trade options. More of just the options market impact, the positioning, in the SPX on the broader markets, can derive a lot of key information from that, in our opinion. So what we do every morning is we go through SPX-A, SPX-P, full complex 0DTE. And then just looking at the 0D complex today. So the key, it always starts with our transition zones, right? Where's the structure transitioning from call dominated, put dominated, and vice versa. With the iron condor structure today, 64.45, 64.50, and then 63.75, 63.70. So these are key goalposts typically for the day. We have an iron condor structure in place like that. Other things to note, 64.50, which is the key level altogether, top of the drunken sailor range, top of our DEX transition zone, iron condor was up there. So that was going to be a really key level, going to be a hard level to push through and sustain. But if we did do that, we were expecting higher price action. Obviously, didn't get the push lower. We'll get into reasons for that why. I'm just rounding out, right? You can see the transition zone is really transitioning kind of in this area. 6,400 key level to the downside. I think we're kind of right in the middle of that range right now. So broadly, very big transition zone, just given the iron condor structure. Getting into it today, right? It's a lot of choppy price action, making lows a day, right, or close to being low of the day right now. So not a great look. Failed to get any higher over that iron condor structure. Looking at the market trend model, again, to start gauge kind of intraday sentiment and trend on a kind of longer term swing trading time frame. Right here, momentum is to the upside, both in the long term and the short term. So that is constructive to see. Filtered tick had a little bit in the morning, but has really subsided in the afternoon, similar to yesterday where we got that selling, but that subsided, so kind of vice versa. And then this is the RSP down here, and there's pretty big divergence between the actual buying going on and the RSP itself. So a little bit of weakness under the hood there. What was I going to next? Yeah, here's RSP. Then looking at our intraday volume analysis. So here, what we're looking at is SPX 0DT volume specifically. Green above our calls, red below our puts. So what we're looking at is on a 5-minute over 5-minute basis. We are looking at, we're aggregating the volume and finding the centroid, which is basically just the middle of the distribution, and we're plotting that throughout the session. So we can understand, what the behavior of the speculation, what the sentiment on the day is, because that will, kind of inform us on price action itself. So looking at today, there's been just no expansion higher in call speculation. It's just been lower. So, and then puts sideways to higher as well. So you're just getting this converging action, which is just indicative of choppy price action. So that's kind of the key benefit there, right? And then obviously understanding where we have been, we can project out where we are likely to go, assuming all things are equal. So again, just expecting more kind of sideways consolidation there into the close. And if we just scroll back, right? 135, sideways as well. So that's kind of the utility of the tool there. Let me see if, let me get out of that. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. I don't really have too many other prepared remarks, so to speak. Looking at our delta balance chart. So this is just a summarization of all of our different 3D surface models. Each of the key Greeks. Just looking at what the key strikes are. So think about the peaks when you look at a surface model. That's what left-hand plane and right-hand plane strike represent. Just what's the largest peak below spot price, what's the largest peak above spot price. Then looking at what's the cumulative impact of, summing all the deltas below spot price, all the deltas above spot price, which informs charm, gamma vana, all that good stuff. So 6,400, if we melt down there, obviously is going to be a key level. Then to the upside, 6,445, which is getting into that iron condor structure. So there's a pretty big goalpost, pretty big range in chop, honestly, that the day had for us, just based off what structure was telling us. So yeah, it looks like we're making new lows here. Wow, got destroyed. So just going through some single stocks here. Apple, right? Little news event with the Google Chrome not having to divest that, so it's got a pretty good pop today. Nvidia, continues to be weak, below its P-trans level, right top of the transition zone. So that's no good there. Looking at Microsoft, just from a technical analysis point of view, right below some moving averages, looks like it made a lower high there. Looks like it's selling off with the market again. So that 500 is going to be a key level. That's where the transition zones are at. So going to be key to see if it can hold that level, although definitely weak. Same with Amazon, below its P-trans level now. Google, kind of the abnormality right now, just given the massive move it had today with the news event. Meta, below its transition zone. Tesla, strong, but it's weakening, right? So really want to see kind of 230, 230, 250 level hold. You can just see just a massive consolidation range though for this month. Palantir, that's been weak. Hood, weak. Coin, weak. Uber, weakening, kind of right at its transition zone of 72. Square, weak. So we can see, right, a lot of the top components we just went through are very weak right now. So just keep that in mind as a situational awareness there. Some things we also do is we produce a bull and a bear list every day. It's something I produce for the community. We also have can scans, just looking at call dominated stocks around our key level, like our 100% systematic strategy, P-transit plus GEX strategy, right? Significant outperformance over the SPY over really any time frame you want to look back since 2013. Give that a go. Before we get back to it real quick, GamEdge.us, go to free resources, GamEdge FastPass, that's kind of our key onboarding document. All new members takes you through our methodology, our trading strategies, trading methodologies, all that good stuff. So free to you. You can sign up for it there. And yeah, basically what you get there are blogs, which basically make up the GamEdge FastPass. You can go through those, like here, our P-Transit plus GEX strategy, have all of our back testing in there. It's being run live in the Discord too as well. So back to this. Anyways, I populate these just watch lists, just simply, right? Our bull watch list was, it's about over the 21 EMA, call dominated, generally good constructive stocks to be long in or looking to get long. And then our bear list, which is basically vice versa, put dominated below the 21 EMA. And yeah, you can just see just a good kind of subset of, right, there's 1,000 different stocks out there. So whether you're bullish or bearish, just kind of getting a nice curated list of what kind of has good underlying dynamics in the market is, always a good spot to start. It's kind of the idea of that. So happy to go through other stocks, kind of go where you guys want to take this. I just thought I'd come on here, pop in real quick, see what's going on, see what you guys are looking at. So yeah, that's kind of what I got for you guys. Let me know if you got any questions. Do you guys have any questions? I guess, any tickers you want to look at, any of the tools I went over, happy to go over those more in depth. Yeah, so just let me know. It looks like we're, kind of finding support here at 215 or 64.15, sorry. Just looking at yeah, our GEX levels update throughout the day, but Jim, something to just keep in mind is like delta is much more important than GEX. Like GEX is the buzzword, right? Gamma squeeze, all that good stuff. But like it's really the structure. Like it starts right with our SPX game plan, which has nothing to do with gamma, everything to do with the distribution of speculation through, open interest, all that good stuff. Yes, I know open interest, naive GEX, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Just to be clear, we don't make the blanket assumption, right, that the market is short calls, long puts. We don't believe that. Markets are driven by out of the money call and put speculation. We've seen it time and time again. So yeah, right. It starts with what's the structure in the pre-market that has to be navigated, and then from there, understanding what actual speculation is doing via right, volume. How is volume transacting? So that's kind of what the pillars that we look at there. And yes, though, but GEX levels, if you're into that, keep in mind GEX only matters if spot price is moving. But yes, these update throughout the session. Here's just a simple automated command that we have, but we also have our, let me pull it up for you. So we got our web app dashboard, and yes, this opens for you, or this refreshes for you. So if you just want to keep in mind, don't need to refresh it every second of the day. That's not going to dramatically impact your trading. Faster to type GEX. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, fine. But yeah, your point, right? Do levels update? Does it take into account the passing of time, updating of Greek, spot price, all that good stuff? Yes, it does. The intent was not to lecture you, so if it came across like that, I apologize. Yep, all good. Let me know if you guys got any other questions. If not, getting into Power Hour. Transition back over to the Discord. I just thought I'd pop in here, let you guys know what we were seeing, and see if you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, all that good stuff. Yep, all good, Jim. sort of by price and volume. Cool. So AVGO doesn't look it's got earnings tomorrow. Yeah, keep that in mind. Yeah, AMD, I mean, below the transition zones, trending lower, not the greatest of looks. We already went through Meta, Salesforce. Doesn't look terrible here. It has earnings after market close today, so just keep that in mind. UNH, yeah, Bitcoin's not looking too good recently. Netflix chopping around right at its transition zone. So not really surprising that we're seeing chopping up here. Reddit, huge intraday sell-off. So yeah, it's kind of where we are at right now. Going back to SPX. I mean, we're still near all-time highs. No need to freak out right now. Obviously, if we took out the lows set yesterday, that'd be a bit more concerning. But so far, nice recovery of that. And so yeah, with that, I'm gonna cut it there. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was just going over though, Sai. So like weekly targets, I mean, the market is path dependent though, right? So you got to go from today to the end of the week. So that's why I always look at the transition zones, and then from there, right, we look at our our key upside and downside levels. So like SPX as an example, if we can get above, right, we operate in if then statements. So if this happens, then that, or if this happens, then that, just like a decision tree. So right, above 6450, we are looking to 6500 as an example. Another thing that we can do is, yeah, let's just look at what so I mean the structure right now is just messed up because we have that iron condor in place, which, look, SPX, that's why you focus on iron condor, because like 50-60% happens there. But yeah, if we go look at like Apple's a bad example too because of what just happened. What if we go look at like Microsoft? So Microsoft, right, it's looking at the full complex here, transition zone right at 500. So that means we want 500 to, that's the key level globally that we want to hold if you're a bull. Speculation up to 520, 530. But keep in mind that's not necessarily a weekly target per se, that's just kind of the upside speculative levels. But like if we look at this week's expiration only, right, we want to see 500 hold, and then 512.50 is a reasonable kind of upside target, right? That's where we're just looking at the distribution of speculation. That's where kind of the upside speculation is centered at, would be 512. So yeah, we would want to see the first target obviously being 512. Obviously, we have massive speculation all the way up to 570, but that is not going to happen unless some massive, crazy, event-driven something gets you all the way up there. So, yeah, like I'm a swing trader myself, Sai. So that's how I use it. Like I just walked through the process like we just did. As an example, right? Like, Tesla. I was looking at Tesla today. The reason being is, right, it broke above prior day high. It's above the transition zones. Showed up on my call dominated scan that I did. And yeah, I'm looking for a move at least like 348. See if we can get a move up there. Yes, I have been walking through your questions live. Another thing, Sai is right, our P2P strategy, which is our 100% mechanical strategy. I know it's 100% mechanical, but you could still kind of add your own swing trading flair to it as well. Let me get to that real quick. This is another great thing for swing trading. Right, you can see the wins versus losses. So the average duration, 30 days for a win, 56 days for a loss. You can see it's a very high win rate strategy, positive expectancy on the strategy. Here's our open positions, right? XOM has been ripping. These are all the open positions. And then if you go to our website, you can go read all about the P2P strategy. Right, here's just a little snippet of from Jan 13 to May 25, significant outperformance, walks you through the methodology, all that good stuff, different time slices so you can understand it. You can understand the key scans that we use to find those candidates. So these would be good candidates for swing trades as well if you want to do a more discretionary basis, at least how to find that population. So let me know if that answers your question or not. And if it doesn't, happy to explain it to you in another way. Right, and the last thing I'll say there too is, just one benefit off the rip for, this stuff is just underlying, like, is the option positioning favorable for the stocks? Like, is it call dominated, is it put dominated? From there, right, then you can kind of go about what your normal swing trading process is as well. But then we also have key upside downside levels for you too, that you can work into your current trading strategy. Yeah, we'll look at GLD. Just keep in mind, like obviously it's bowled up big time right now. So, yeah, not really a ton to say. It looks like, I don't know, GLD been ripping or something. Wow. GLD's been going crazy. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, keep in mind with commodities, there's kind of a supply demand dynamic as well, in addition to the options market. So just keep that in mind. But I mean, yeah, this thing is ripped. Looks like structure hasn't really caught up to it yet because, the key speculative levels are below spot price. So maybe a little bit extended here, but what is overbought can get way more overbought. So shouldn't be shorting for the sake of that. So all right, I'm gonna end it there. I've been staring at the screen a long time, so appreciate the time. We'll keep doing these. But yeah, with that, we're gonna get back to the Discord. So thank you.